certain things that be said. I'm harder on myself than anybody. I would love to be one of those guys that never ever get injured, and see what my career would be right now after 10 years. I think I'd be around this with this guy, 21,000, something like that. But it's not in the cards for me, so I have to overcome.
I mean, it's a catch-22. If he doesn't play, and you guys like, why are you not in uniform? It's a playoff game. Why is he not playing? When he does play and he's not scoring 20 points, Dwyane shouldn't be out there. Should he rest? I really don't really care for it too much. He's a Hall of Famer. He has 2 rings. He doesn't have to prove himself to anyone.
Good point. In the fourth quarter of the Heat's win over the Bulls, Wade had 6 points, 3 rebounds, and went 3 for 3 from the floor. When asked what contributed to the sudden burst, he said he had his knee retaped because he knew he needed to help close it all out. Stephen, I'll start with you first, because you tweeted about this actually last night. Was Wade's fourth quarter performance a big deal?
Oh, it was a very, very big deal. I thought he was sensational in the last few minutes. 3 key buckets, a huge defensive play against Jimmy Butler. He did all the right things, and he just amped it up to another level and showed you what he's capable of doing when healthy. If at any given moment, knowing that at any given moment he can turn it on like that is what makes you just sit back and relax and just say, Miami's got this. They've got this. Because you know LeBron's going to do what he does. You know that Chris Bosh is going to show up when he needs to, even though last night wasn't a great game. Whether it's the Ray Allens, the Shane Battiers, even the Birdman, because I think he adds a level of toughness they desperately needed, along with Udonis Haslem. You just know that when Dwyane Wade shows up and really, really feels like he can go, there's nothing you can do with Miami. They're just too elite. And to know that he was going through what he's been going through, Skip, and I'm not going to knock Derrick Rose a lot like a lot of people do, but him being on the bench, still not being able to go, Dwyane Wade talking about doing one for the team, playing 37 minutes, being out there, knowing what he's going through with his knee hurting, still going into the locker room, getting some tape wrapped around his knee, joking around with Craig Sager and their jackets and all of this other stuff. But then to come out there and do what he did, it was special to see, because I know what kind of pain this man has said he's into people, and to know that he could just step it up and do what he did is just, you tip your hat to him. It's nothing but admiration.
I am completely with you on this one. That was a huge moment for the Heat's psyche last night, because I was starting to wonder, Stephen A., about Indiana. I'm assuming Indiana will close out your Knicks, probably tonight. But my point is, could Indiana threaten the Heat if it's LeBron or bust, if there's no D. Wade? Maybe. I started thinking, can Paul George bother LeBron enough to make them a threat to the Heat without D. Wade? Maybe. Then we start talking, we're going to talk about in the next question, is Memphis a threat to the Heat? Could the Spurs be a threat to the Heat? Could blah, blah, blah be a threat to the Heat? It's all based on Dwyane Wade's knee. And it was significant to me that he found it important to go to the locker room and get it retaped, because he said afterwards, I knew they were going to need me in what had become a battle. I'm not sure they would have won that game without Dwyane doing what he did. LeBron wasn't shooting the ball well last night. He was doing everything else very well, but he was 0 for 4 in the fourth. I'm not sure they would have survived that Bulls rush at the end without Dwyane Wade. So you go back to Chicago, I don't know, anything could start happening. Dwyane Wade was sensational last night. And I'm going to say it again. Obviously, LeBron James is the best player on that team now. But Dwyane Wade remains the heart, the soul, the guts, the leader of the Miami Heat. And for him to show them he can be there when needed, even against the Bulls in a closeout game, was huge for that basketball team last night.
Well, see, this is the thing about it is that when you talk about the heart and soul of the team, it's moments like last night why he's that. A lot of times, understand when you talk about heart and soul, that's not measured by numbers.
No.
It's measured by inspiration. It's measured by focus. It's measured by commitment. It's measured by sacrifice. And so when you look at those things and you're able to see a guy like D. Wade, this is what I'm talking about when I was talking about LeBron James the other day and talking about just appreciating greatness. I'm telling you right now, I communicate with Kobe, for example, now more than I ever have in his career. You know why, Skip? Because I'm seeing the days dwindling down. And I know when he's gone, I'm really going to miss him. I'm really going to miss watching him play, watching him perform with the Lakers. I'm looking at a LeBron James, not so much yet because I think he's got a long ways to go. I look at Dwyane Wade, somehow the taxing things that have been placed on his body for the years that he was carrying the Miami Heat. Do I think he's got a couple of more years? I sincerely hope so. I sincerely hope he has many more years. But in the event that he doesn't, I'm going to miss that guy. Because I remember, if you remember, Skip, let me see if you remember this. Remember before LeBron arrived in Miami, when it was an encounter like the year before, his last year in Cleveland, he and D-Wade are going at it in Cleveland. D-Wade drops like 44. LeBron drops like 49. Mm-hmm. They're going back and forth with each other before giving each other a huge hug at the end of that game that Cleveland ultimately ended up pulling out. Dwyane Wade was carrying the Miami Heat. I remember those moments. I remember what he can do. I remember what he's capable of when he is healthy. And so to me, last night was just a refresher. Mm-hmm. It was a reminder that this dude is still a superstar. He's just injured. He's not like he's hurting. Whatever word it is that you play, even though you're not 100%, whether it's injured or hurt, the point is he's that. That is what's holding him back. He hasn't lost a step. He's not old and can't do it anymore. It's just that he's not healthy. We're wondering whether or not he'll ever get healthy again. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint, I'm really going to miss him when he's gone. It's those things that force me to appreciate these guys because they don't come every day, my man. They just don't. Heart, soul, spirit, guts, and sacrifice. All of those things are what we should be looking for from our professional athletes. They don't all give it to us. He's one of them who does.
And he hasn't lost his sense of humor either. Did you see him talking to Craig Sager, saying that everyone's talking about his clothing?
That's a different ball game. He's looking at my outfit. He's probably taking credit for what I'm wearing right now, which is a bad sign for me, by the way.
It is different. You're doing some match patterns, I see.
He's been wearing some strange stuff. Okay, yesterday was actually a downgrade compared to what it was.
I have to say, I'm not sure about the polka dots and the plaid, but
yes, I know.
It's D-Wade.
Hey, do your thing. Do your thing.
Oh God, that's what you're saying is D-Wade?
Yeah.
I know I gotta change my tie now, Skip, because you said it's D-Wade. I gotta change the tie now.
Gentlemen, let's talk about the other game last night.